Welcome to the deep dive. We're plunging into some fascinating topics today. You know that feeling, waking up from a dream, and it just lingers. That sense of mystery, maybe a whisper from somewhere deep inside.
hmm
Well, for basically all of human history, people have been trying to figure out what dreams mean. From, ancient civilizations looking for messages from the gods, right up to today's neuroscience, it's a really enduring puzzle.
It absolutely is.
So today, that's exactly what we're diving into, this whole quest to understand dream meaning. We'll look at the history, the big psychological shifts in the 20th century, and then get into what brain science is telling us now about, well, the sleeping mind.
And our goal here is really to pull out the key insights, the practical stuff from the sources we've looked at. Sort of a shortcut for you to get genuinely well-informed about dreams. We'll uncover some surprising things and maybe even give you some tools to work with your own dreams.
Okay, let's start right at the beginning then, because for thousands of years, the idea wasn't that dreams came from us at all, was it?
Not in the slightest. They were seen as communications, direct messages from somewhere else. Supernatural, divine.
Right. And we're talking way back, like Sumerian and Babylonian clay tablets, 3000, 4000 BC.
Exactly. That's some of the earliest evidence of dream interpretation. And for them, the line between dreaming and waking was, well, porous. Yep. Sometimes the dream world felt even more real, more powerful.
And this wasn't just one or two places. You're saying this view was pretty much everywhere in the ancient world. Mesopotamia, Egypt, Greece, Rome.
Overwhelmingly, yes. Dreams were seen as divine interventions, messages from gods, maybe the dead, sometimes warnings from demons or something malevolent.
So prophetic, like telling the future.
Often, yes. Guidance, omens, advice for what's coming. And this wasn't just personal stuff. It influenced big decisions. Statecraft, medicine, how society was run. You even had dream interpreters going into battle with generals.
Wow. So it wasn't just some vague feeling. It was a formal job. A dream interpreter.
Absolutely. A full-time, respected profession. Think priests, seers. In Egypt, you had priests who were official interpreters for the pharaohs, writing dreams down in hieroglyphics.
That's incredible.
And in Babylonia, they wouldn't just interpret, they prescribed rituals. If the dream predicted something bad, here's what you do to try and stop it. Shows how much power these interpretations held, even at the state level.
And they had actual methods, right? Not just guesswork. You mentioned things like dream books.
Yeah, essentially early dream dictionaries,
Hmm.
cataloging common symbols and what they supposedly meant. And incubation, that's fascinating.
What was that?
People would go sleep in a sacred place like a temple or an oracle site.
Hmm.
Delphi in Greece is a famous one, specifically hoping to receive a divine dream, maybe to solve a problem or get guidance.
So a deliberate quest for a dream message. It sounds like the interpretations themselves could get pretty complex, too, not just simple one-to-one meanings.
Oh, definitely. The Babylonians had systems based on direction. Right or east in a dream was good luck, left or west was bad. The Egyptians used wordplay, puns, and the idea of opposites quite a lot in their interpretations. It was sophisticated stuff.
This really feels like a slow shift, though, from just receiving messages passively to actively seeking them out and trying to decode them.
Exactly. That active engagement, trying to solve the puzzle of the dream, really laid the groundwork for the psychological theories that came much, much later.
And the variety across cultures is amazing. Like the ancient Chinese idea that the soul literally left the body.
Right. Wandering the dream world, which apparently made them wary of alarm clocks, didn't want to startle the soul back too quickly.
And Native American and Mexican traditions seeing dreams as a way to connect with ancestors, maybe appearing as animals or plants.
And medieval Islam had whole categories: true dreams, false dreams, dreams caused by illness needing scholarly interpretation within a cultural context. It just shows how deeply embedded dreams were everywhere.
Okay, so for millennia, dreams come from outside. Then, bam, turn of the 20th century, Sigmund Freud arrives.
A radical shift.
His book, The Interpretation of Dreams, in 1899, he basically flips the whole thing, doesn't he? Suddenly, dreams are coming from inside us, from the depths of our own minds.
Precisely. That was the first major psychological theory. Freud argued every single dream, no matter how bizarre, is a meaningful product of your own psyche. He called interpretation the royal road,
To a knowledge of the unconscious activities of the mind.
Yeah. So his big idea was wish fulfillment. Every dream is fulfilling a wish.
That was his core assertion. Usually a repressed wish, often disguised, frequently rooted in childhood experiences.
But wait, if it's a wish, why are dreams often so weird or even upsetting? Why not just dream you're getting what you want?
Ah, that's the key. Freud's concept of dream work. He saw it as a kind of psychic censorship. An internal editor that takes the forbidden wish, the latent content, and disguises it, distorts it, makes it acceptable enough to become the dream narrative you remember the manifest content, so you don't wake yourself up. Like a bouncer for your consciousness, changing the wish's appearance. What kind of disguises are we talking about?
He outlined several strategies. One is condensation, packing multiple ideas or people into one single dream image. Like a character who seems like your boss, but also your father.
Okay, got it.
Then there's displacement, shifting the emotional energy onto something less important. So you might be furious with your partner, but in the dream, you're just mildly annoyed by, I don't know, a talking teapot.
Right, shifting the focus.
Then representation, or symbolism, turning abstract thoughts into concrete images. But crucially, for Freud, these symbols were highly personal, not universal. And finally, secondary elaboration, which is your mind trying to stitch these distorted bits into some kind of coherent story, even if it doesn't make logical sense, further hiding the original wish.
He thought the trigger for these dreams often came from recent events, right? Day residue.
Yes, some minor event or thought from the day could act as a hook, connecting to a deeper, older, repressed wish that then gets worked over by the dream work.
And his method for getting at the hidden meaning was free association. Just saying whatever pops into your head about a dream element.
Exactly, letting the associations lead back towards the original wish.
Yeah.
But this is where the theory gets tricky from a scientific standpoint.
So?
Well, it's fundamentally unfalsifiable. The dream work concept creates a closed loop. If the interpretation doesn't fit, the analyst can just say, more distortion, or the patient is resisting.
You can't prove it wrong.
Right. There's no objective way to verify if the proposed latent meaning is the real one. And scientifically, there's just not much empirical evidence for these specific dream work mechanisms like condensation or displacement actually happening in the brain. It has feeling more like an interpretive art.
Yet, you still hear Freud's ideas about dreams everywhere. It's kind of the default popular understanding, isn't it? Why did it stick so well?
I think because it's such a compelling narrative.
Yeah.
The idea that your dreams hold secret keys to your deepest hidden self,
Yeah.
it's inherently fascinating. It makes you the protagonist in your own inner mystery novel. It just resonates.
Okay, so after Freud comes Carl Jung. Initially his student, but then they had a major break. Jung saw dreams differently, didn't he?
Very differently. He thought Freud was too focused on repressed sexuality and the past. For Jung, dreams had a broader, more positive function. He believed dreams primarily reveal things to us. They don't just conceal repressed wishes.
Reveal what, though?
Their main purpose, for Jung, is to help with individuation. That's his term for the lifelong journey of becoming a whole, integrated person, bringing together the conscious and unconscious parts of yourself.
How do dreams do that?
Through compensation. Dreams act like a balancing mechanism. They highlight attitudes or feelings your conscious ego might be ignoring or overdoing, trying to restore psychological equilibrium. So they're looking forward, helping you grow, kind of like rough drafts for becoming a better version of yourself.
And Jung had his own map of the mind, the personal unconscious, like Freud's idea of stored personal experiences, but then the big one, a collective unconscious.
Yes, that was his unique contribution, a deeper layer shared by all humans, inherited. It contains universal patterns, instincts, primordial images, what he called archetypes.
Archetypes, like common characters or symbols you see in myths and stories.
Exactly. And they appear in our dreams too. Things like the shadow, our dark, rejected side, the anima or animus, the inner feminine or masculine, the wise old man, the great mother, the hero, the trickster. These universal figures pop up in dreams across cultures.
So his way of interpreting dreams amplification was different from Freud's free association, too.
Quite different. Instead of associating away from the dream image, amplification involves circling around it, exploring its meaning through your personal associations, yes, but also by comparing it to myths, folklore, fairy tales, religion, enriching the symbol's meaning.
And he emphasized the subjective approach, right? Meaning the people and things in your dream represent parts of you.
Primarily, yes. That angry boss in your dream. Jung would ask, what's the angry boss in you trying to say? The goal is a dialogue with these inner aspects. And a good interpretation, for Jung, isn't just clever. It feels right. It clicks. It offers a surprising new insight, not just something that confirms what you already thought or blames someone else.
So maybe Freud as the mind's archaeologist digging up the past and Jung as looking towards the future, the dream's purpose.
That's a really good way to summarize the difference in focus. Freud. What trauma caused this? Jung, where is this dream trying to lead me?
But like Freud, Jung's ideas face scientific challenges, particularly the collective unconscious.
Absolutely. While it's a powerful concept for understanding shared human experience, the collective unconscious itself is metaphysical. It can't be empirically proven or disproven. So Jungian analysis sits more comfortably alongside philosophy or spirituality than empirical science.
Okay, so we have these two giants of psychology, Freud and Jung, offering ways to interpret dream meaning. But then science takes another turn, right? Mid 20th century, the focus shifts from meaning to mechanism. How does the brain actually produce dreams?
Exactly. The game really changed in 1953 with the discovery of REM sleep,
Hmm.
rapid eye movement sleep.
Right, that distinct stage where your eyes dart around, your body's basically paralyzed, but your brain, it looks almost awake on the EEG scans.
Precisely. And later neuroimaging confirmed it. Intense activity in emotional centers like the amygdala, but reduced activity in the prefrontal cortex, the bit responsible for logic, planning, self-control. This gave scientists the first objective physiological handle on dreaming.
And that led to the activation synthesis hypothesis in the 70s, Hobson and McCarley. That was a big challenge to Freud, wasn't it?
Huge. Their idea was basically physiological, not psychological. Random electrical bursts fire up from the brainstem. That's the activation. The higher brain, the cortex, then tries to make sense of this noisy input, weaving it into a story, the synthesis.
So, dreams are just the brain making stories out of random static. Did they think dreams were meaningless then?
The original implication was pretty much that, yeah, just a side effect of brain activity during REM, which understandably didn't sit well with everyone.
I can imagine. Has that view changed?
It has evolved. The more current version is the AIM model activation input modulation. It still involves activation, but acknowledges that the synthesis part isn't random. It's heavily shaped by your own memories, emotions, current concerns. So there's room for psychological significance again, just derived differently.
But then came another finding. You don't only dream in REM sleep, right?
Correct. People report dreams when woken from non-REM sleep, too. They tend to be different, less vivid, less bizarre, more thought-like, maybe like mulling something over.
So dreaming isn't just a REM thing. It's more like a spectrum of thinking during sleep.
That's closer to the modern neurocognitive theory of dreaming, linked with researchers like Domhoff and Solms. They see dreaming as what thinking looks like under very specific brain conditions. Less sensory input from the outside world, less self-reflection online that dial down prefrontal cortex. It's cognition, just in a different mode.
Which leads neatly into the continuity hypothesis, the idea that dreams are basically a continuation of our waking life concerns, thoughts, feelings.
Exactly. The stuff you worry about, hope for, interact with during the day, that's the stuff that populates your dreams.
Yeah.
So the content is meaningful, but not because it's a secret code. It's meaningful because it's a fairly transparent reflection of your inner world.
So meaning shifts again. For Freud, it was hidden.
Mhm.
For neurocognitive science, it's right there on the surface, just maybe expressed in a different language.
Precisely. And interpretation isn't about decoding anymore. It's about contextualizing. How does this dream theme or emotion connect back to what's actually going on in your waking life right now?
Okay, that makes sense. So if that's what dreams might be a form of thinking in sleep, reflecting our waking lives, what do they do? Is there growing evidence they actually serve important functions?
Yes, definitely. This is a really active area of research. One of the strongest candidates is memory consolidation. We know sleep is crucial for locking down memories.
How does that work with dreams?
Well, during sleep, the brain seems to replay or reactivate neural patterns from recent experiences, especially learning experiences, and dream content often incorporates fragments of these recent events, particularly things that were new or emotionally charged.
But it's not like watching a video replay, is it? Dreams mix things up, make bizarre connections.
Exactly. It's not a literal playback. The theory is that weaving these memory fragments into new, sometimes strange contexts helps integrate the new information with your existing knowledge base. It's like the brain is stress testing the memory, seeing how it fits.
Interesting. Is there evidence linking dreaming about something with better memory for it?
There is. A big meta-analysis in 2023 found a solid link. Dreaming about a task you learned was associated with better performance on that task later. It suggests the dream content itself might be a conscious signal of that unconscious memory work. And the weirdness. Maybe that's actually good for extracting general rules or insights from the specific memories.
Fascinating. What about emotions? Dreams can be so intensely emotional.
That points to another major proposed function, emotional regulation. Remember the high amygdala activity in REM? The idea is that REM sleep provides a unique neurochemical state, maybe low-stress hormones, allowing us to process difficult, even traumatic experiences without the full emotional sting.
Like rehearsing the memory but dialing down the fear?
Something like that. Recent research, even from this year, 2024, supports this. It found dreaming about a negative experience seemed to reduce the emotional reactivity to reminders of that experience the next day. It helps take the sharp edge off.
So dreams might help us sort through negative stuff and make it less painful over time.
And potentially prioritize which emotional memories get consolidated based on the feeling in the dream itself.
What about creativity? You hear stories like Kikule and the benzene ring or Paul McCartney dreaming yesterday. Is there a scientific basis for dreams aiding problem solving?
There could be. That reduced prefrontal cortex activity we talked about, it might actually help creativity by loosening rigid thinking patterns. It allows for more fluid, unusual connections between ideas, what's called divergent thinking, more outside the box.
Does research back this up?
Some studies suggest dreaming is better for tackling imaginative visual problems rather than straightforward logical ones. And then there's lucid dreaming.
Where you know you're dreaming.
Right. That opens up possibilities for consciously using the dream state. Some preliminary work suggests lucid dreamers can actually work on creative problems within the dream, even getting useful ideas from dream characters. It's pretty wild.
It really is. And this all seems to feed into another big idea: threat rehearsal.
Yes, the threat rehearsal theory. It's a compelling evolutionary explanation for why so many common dreams are anxiety-provoking, being chased, falling, failing, being exposed.
Does sound familiar.
The theory suggests these dreams function like a virtual reality simulator. They let us practice recognizing threats and rehearsing escape or coping strategies in a safe environment. And because the fear response might be dampened during sleep, it could make us more resilient, less likely to freeze up when facing a real threat. So those nightmares might actually be adaptive, your brain's training program.
Wow. Okay, so we've gone from divine messages to hidden wishes to brain static, and now to memory consolidation, emotional regulation, creativity, and even threat practice. That's quite a journey. But how does someone listening right now take all this and use it? How do you actually work with your own dreams?
Great question, because the key takeaway from modern research is that while grand universal interpretations are out, personal meaning is definitely in. The goal now is self-awareness, using your dreams as a tool. Forget the one-size-fits-all dream dictionaries.
So step one is probably remembering them better, right? The dream journal.
Absolutely critical. You need good data to work with. The journal's main job is just to capture the raw experience as accurately as possible before your waking brain starts editing or forgetting.
Any tips for making dream journaling work?
Definitely. First, get ready beforehand. Keep a dedicated notebook and pen right by your bed. Easy access is key. And maybe set an intention before sleep. Just telling yourself, I'll remember my dreams tonight, can actually help.
Okay, intention set, notebook ready, then what?
The moment you wake up is crucial. Dream recall fades incredibly fast. So record immediately. Before you even move much, stay still, keep your eyes closed maybe, and just let the feelings and images drift back.
Got it. Stay still, recall, then write. What should you write down?
Everything you can. Write in the present tense, like it's happening now. I am running, not I was running. Capture details.
Yeah.
Setting, people, objects, any colors or sounds, what you were feeling in the dream, and also how you felt when you woke up. Giving the dream a quick title can help too.
And what not to do.
Don't try to make it logical if it wasn't. Record the weird, disjointed bits. They're often important. Don't censor anything because it feels embarrassing or strange. And crucially, separate recording from interpreting. Just get the data down first. Worry about meaning later.
And doing this regularly actually helps you remember more dreams.
Yes, it's like training a muscle. You're signaling to your brain that this information matters, strengthening those recall pathways. People often find their dreams become more vivid and detailed with consistent journaling.
Okay, so you've got your dream recorded, now what? How do you approach interpretation without resorting to those generic symbol books?
Think of it as a guided exploration, and you are the expert guide because it's your dream. We can break it down into roughly 5 steps.
Let's hear them.
Step 1, deconstruct. Just list the basic building blocks. What was the setting? Who are the characters, including you? Any key objects? What were the main actions? What were the core emotions? Just break it down.
Okay, list the parts.
Step 2, personal associations. This is the most important part. For each element you listed the setting, a person, an object, ask yourself, what does this mean to me? What memories, feelings, or ideas do I connect with this specific thing? Write down whatever comes up, no judgment. This is where the meaning lies for you, not in a book.
My personal connection to each piece. Makes sense.
Step 3. Find the emotional core. What was the strongest feeling in the dream? Anxiety, joy, confusion, anger. Take that core emotion and ask, where have I felt this way in my waking life recently? Often, the dream emotion is a direct link to a current waking situation.
So if I dream I'm frustrated, look for recent frustration.
Exactly. Step 4. Connect to waking life. Now broaden out. How do the themes, conflicts, or characters in the dream reflect what's going on right now in your life? Your work, relationships, projects, stresses. And try that Jungian idea. What if every character represents a part of you? If you dream your friend is critical, ask, what's my own inner critic saying?
Looking for parallels between the dream world and the real world and within myself.
Right. And finally, step 5. Synthesize and look for the aha. Try to put the pieces together. What story is the dream telling about your inner world based on your associations and your current life? A good interpretation often feels like a small discovery. It clicks. It feels insightful, maybe a little surprising, not just obvious or blaming someone else.
So it's less about finding the answer and more about the process of reflection.
Exactly. It's a dialogue with yourself, a way to gain self-awareness. The value is in that exploration.
Now, we said no dream dictionaries, but are there common themes that pop up for lots of people? Things like falling or being chased.
Oh, absolutely. While the specific meaning is always personal, certain scenarios recur across cultures. They seem to tap into universal human experiences, anxieties, and desires. They can be a useful starting point as long as you ground it in your personal context.
Okay, let's run through a few common ones. Being chased.
Probably the most common dream theme. Often relates to avoidance, something in waking life you're running from, whether it's a problem, a difficult emotion, a responsibility. Who or what is chasing you is a big clue. Is it an external pressure or maybe a part of yourself you're not facing?
Falling. I think everyone's had that one.
Very common. Usually linked to feeling out of control, insecure, or unsupported in some area of your life. How you feel during the fall matters. Terror suggests anxiety, but a peaceful, floating fall might symbolize letting go or surrender.
What about teeth falling out? That one always sounds disturbing.
Classic anxiety dream.
Yeah.
Often tied to feelings of powerlessness, loss of control, maybe concerns about appearance or how you're perceived. It can symbolize difficulty communicating or asserting yourself, losing your bite, or anxieties about aging or transitions.
Being naked in public sounds like pure vulnerability.
Exactly. Vulnerability, shame, fear of exposure, feeling judged or like an imposter. Interestingly, if you feel confident or unbothered being naked in the dream, it might signify self-acceptance or authenticity. Context is everything.
Okay, how about a positive one? Flying.
Often exhilarating. Usually symbolizes freedom, liberation, gaining a new perspective, feeling powerful or on top of things. If you struggle to fly in the dream, it might suggest something's holding you back or maybe a lack of confidence in your abilities.
Taking an exam. I still get those sometimes.
So common, even years after leaving school. It usually reflects feeling tested, judged, or scrutinized in your current life, often related to work performance, pressure, or a fear of failure. You feel unprepared.
And lastly, death in dreams. That must be worrying.
It can be, but it's almost never a literal prediction. Think symbolic. Death in dreams usually signifies an ending, a major change, or a transformation. Dreaming of your own death often points to the end of one phase of life and the beginning of another. Dreaming of someone else's death might reflect changes in your relationship with them or anxiety about them changing or moving on, not their actual demise.
So these common themes, maybe they're like universal stress tests, like you said about threat rehearsal, the mind-running simulations on core human challenges.
That's a great way to look at it. They map onto fundamental aspects of being: human survival, social standing, competence, control, transition. The dreams might be helping us process and prepare for these perennial challenges.
What a journey. We've gone from ancient priests interpreting divine omens through Freud's hidden wishes and Jung's archetypes, landed in the neuroscience lab looking at REM sleep and brain activity, and ended up with practical tools for self-discovery.
It really shows how our understanding has evolved.
Right.
And the key takeaway now is that while those older, rigid interpretation systems don't hold up scientifically, modern research strongly confirms that dreams are psychologically significant. They're not just random noise.
They're a meaningful cognitive process.
That's right. A continuation of our waking minds, reflecting our concerns, consolidating memories, helping regulate emotions. They give us a window into the brain's essential offline work.
And maybe the most empowering insight from all this is that you, the dreamer, are the ultimate authority on your own dreams.
Absolutely. The future isn't about finding a guru to tell you what your dream means. It's about having the tools and frameworks to explore it yourself, for your own growth and understanding.
Where does dream research go from here? What's on the horizon?
It's moving fast. We're seeing a convergence of subjective dream reports with objective data think wearables, tracking sleep stages, combined with AI analyzing dream journal content for patterns we might miss.
Wow, AI dream analysis.
Potentially identifying links between dream themes and waking life events or physiological states on a massive scale. And neuroimaging keeps advancing. Maybe one day we'll get closer to actually seeing or decoding the visual content of dreams directly from brain activity. That could be the final frontier.
Incredible. So, as we wrap up, maybe the thought to leave everyone with is this. Your dreams are this incredibly rich, personal, and meaningful beta stream happening every night.
A nightly report from your inner world.
Exactly. So, what surprising insight might your next dream hold for you? And more importantly, what will you do with it?